Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to Author Spotlight, where we get to know the author and support the author. Today, we have Ashley Nicole. She is a speaker, philanthropist, cleric, CEO, and founder of both Proud of You Girl Ministries, LLC, and Mind Over Matter Youth Empowerment. She has created through both organizations the capability to provide diverse groups of women with the wisdom, clarity, resources, and preparedness, quintessential for their life's excellence. Ashley is the best selling author of her book, Resilience, The Strength of a Woman. She specializes in empowering women to live out their God intended purpose through a focus centered around character development, self realization, confidence, and the cultivation of both social and life skill sets, all geared toward giving women the inspiration to fully embrace their reality and to initiate and maintain positive perspectives. In accommodation to her incredible ethic as a servant leader, Ashley has displayed a sincere respect for higher education. She is a licensed and ordained minister and holds a Bachelor's of Science from UAB, an MBA from Strayer University, and a Master's in Education with a concentration in instructional leadership. Honored greatly for her philanthropic efforts, Ashley has been awarded as an emerging African American leader within the community in the Southeast region and is often highlighted for the many charitable events and drives curated through her organizations. Well, I want to welcome you, Ashley Nicole, as we learn more about your book.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm elated and excited to be on your platform. Um, my book is my baby. This is my first book. So I'm excited about just everything pertaining to resilience. The name of the book is called Resilience, The Strength of a Woman, and there are affirmations. I have it subtitled Affirmations Used to Transform Your Life by Way of Accountability. So the concept is, how did I get myself into this? You know? But the book is geared for, originally, it was geared for women. But by the after the book release and the promotions and the book signings, I had a lot of men reach out to me and say, "Hey, your first chapter alone is helping me." And so I had to realize that, okay, well, I was thinking my target audience would be just women. A lot of men have taken on and embraced the concepts of the book. And so I was just excited, to know that they are too being blessed. So honestly, the target audience now is for whoever sees fit that, they could get help or guidance through this book.
Wow. So I want to know a little bit without giving too much away. What are some of the principles or things, core things that you talk about in the book?
In the book is 10 chapters long, and each chapter, like, okay, for instance, the first chapter talks about grief. And I have the book outlined as you'll open up, each chapter opens up with a personal experience that I've endured. Okay. And I talk about how I overcome it. And there's also scripture focus right after that helps you and guides you to focus on these scriptures to for example, first chapter is grief. Okay. And right after these scriptures, there's affirmations that you can declare over your life to help you with dealing with grief. Because grief is something that you don't get over, it's something that you learn to live with. So there's a concept in that chapter alone where I talk about being able to celebrate the lives of those who have transitioned by adopting certain principles of things that they do. You carry it with them, carry it with you throughout your daily, life, and in such a celebratory manner. Um, there's also, not only do I talk about grief by way of loss of death, but there's grief by way of loss of divorce, relationships. So that's the first chapter alone. And then, so for example, there's an affirmation that sticks and that has stuck with a lot of people who are dealing with this and have reached out to me like, girl, I just took off running when I read this. I will not become a victim of grief. I will not become a victim of grief. So that's a declaration. That's just one. But there are
Yeah.
many in this book that's related to that one particular chapter. Another chapter is self care. Another chapter is trauma triggers. Another chapter is mental health and setting boundaries. Another chapter talks about being a single mother. Another chapter talks about resilience, and what it means to be resilient. But the main chapter, the chapter that I call the ouch chapter, the transformative chapter, is the one, accountability. That is the chapter where we like, you know what? We knew better, some of these situations, we knew better. So let's do the work. So there is definitely I dedicated this book. Even in my dedication, it says this book is dedicated to the woman who sits in the driveway or the garage a few minutes longer before entering the house, the woman who cries in the shower, the woman who is fighting silent battles that may never be spoken of. So it was really initially created for those women that they're behind the scenes and they are pushers. They make it happen. They don't have time to complain, but they are the ones that are pushing. They're struggling, but they're pushing. They're sacrificing, but they're pushing. I open up the book and says, "Who encourages the encourager?" Yeah, it's pretty deep.
Yes, I love it though. I love how even with the first chapter, it gets straight to it and it's like really making you face those things that may be hindering you or maybe you haven't addressed. And
Yeah.
I think that's why you said that it's open to not just women, men are also learning from reading your book.
Yes.
That means that it has a lot of great topics that many have not addressed,
Mm-hmm.
and you're putting it right there forefront, and
Mm-hmm.
you're saying, I've dealt with that, but
Yes.
this is the ways that I've been able to overcome it. And then you're also reinforcing it,
That's it.
right?
That's it.
With those scriptures that they can take with them daily into their lives. So that's important. You're
Yeah.
not just giving them your story, you also giving them away, giving them something that can help
Yeah.
them to
A
get
tool.
through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love that. I
Yes,
love that.
ma'am.
So I want to ask you, do I hear a lot of times, and even for myself, when it comes to writing a book, it was something that what you always wanted to do, or it was something that it was years in the making, or something that happened in your life and you was like, it's time to write that book. Can you tell us a little bit about how this book kind of came into made you get into the writing space for it?
It's kind of all of the above what you said. I never really, the funny thing is, I never really wanted to write a book, but things had transpired over the years in my life, to where I knew I had something in me that I needed to get out. I had, there was something in, I had too much on the inside of me to not be able to write and voice it, because you think better and you can deliver better when you're writing. um I'm more of a straight to the point type of person. My book is straight to the point, but I'm really direct in the results that I'm wanting from each chapter. um I started writing this book. I did the outline for this book in 2021, and then I went through a divorce. And so just having to that following year just restructure everything. I call it distractions because every time you get to writing it's something, it's something. So 2022 comes around, I'm getting reset. I'm trying to, get everything back organized, and I still feel this pull. Oh, I gotta write. I have to write. I have to write. And then I'm realizing that once I'm doing these outlines and I'm thinking, then it becomes therapeutic, you know. Um, so end of 2022, I said, okay, I'm gonna make this a 2023 goal. So 2023, I literally sat down. I gave myself a deadline. I said, okay, I want to write so many chapters, or I want to work on chapters 1 and 2 this week. You know, next week I'll work, start on 3 and 4. That's how that worked. I literally carved out time to get it done.
I
And it
like.
was by the
Mhm.
time I wrote my outline, it was over. I was like, oh yeah, I got this is a book. I gotta do it. Like what? So yes.
I like how you gave us that process because a lot of times people don't understand that you have to be in a certain space sometimes when it's chaotic.
Yes.
It's good to journal because sometimes you're
Yes.
journaling like a little here, a little
Yes.
there, then you can kind of piece it
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're determined to get something done, you make that time
Yes.
and you get it done.
Yeah. And then I'll say, okay, I only spend 1 hour or 2 hours. But sometimes when you get to flowing, it's like 2 in the morning. And I'm like, oh, so but you have to when you tap into that flow, you can't stop, because you don't know if the anointing will hit you like that again while you writing. So yes.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. But when
Mhm.
it comes, it's just like
Tap
it's
in.
flowing.
Tap
Now,
in.
were you writing it out or were you
Yes.
typing it out? Because I know I'm
Mm-hmm.
a typer. So were you
Mm-hmm.
writing out what was coming or typing?
I type.
Okay.
I'm typing.
Yeah.
I'll start on a chapter and then I'll stop and then I'll say, wait, I may be spending too much time on this. So it's writing is so much to writing because you have to make sure that you get your points, not too much, not too little, and still stay on topic, and everything has to flow.
Yes. Yes. I have a question for you too. So, okay, with you writing your book, have you had people come to you now saying, "Oh, you've written a book. Can you help me? Can you help me write my story?"
Mm-hmm.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
And
And what?
I'll
Yeah.
say, I'll tell them how it started, and I'll send them to whoever, because your story is your story. Um, but there is, a cost, if you want it done right, let me just say that if you want it done right, I like to try to operate in the spirit of excellence as best that I can under my control. So I always let them know, hey, you got to be willing to invest in it as well. It's not just about writing. You have to be willing to invest in your project and whatever it is you wanted to write. Hmm.
Yes. I'm glad you said that because, like you say, it's a lot, and it's just not writing. You want
No,
a piece of work
it is.
once it's printed, and you want to be able to give a quality piece of work to
Mhm,
whoever purchased it, right?
mhm.
Because they're believing in you. That's
Yes,
why it's
and
fine.
this is a legacy. This is going to be around. Your book has its own social security number. Once that hits, it's out.
Mhm.
So
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Mhm.
Now, I know you said there's been men and women that have read your book. What are some of the comments that you've received
Oh,
from people?
so many different types of comments.
You can give me a couple. Yeah, you can.
Um, I had one who said you literally can just walk around, that she walks around with it in her purse. A few people. One of my good classmates, she came to the book signing and she had her book highlighted. Like, so, and it's really, it's a tool. Like, and that's what I wrote on the back of the book. This is not just a book, it's a tool, because you want to be able to tap in. And if you're feeling down, or you're feeling, like you're stuck in a certain um situation or dynamic, you want to be able to refer back to these affirmations, especially if you're trying to evolve. This book is really for those who really, really want to grow, who really want to evolve, because it starts within the mind. We have to change our mindsets. And so with changing the mindsets come declaring things over me. Even if I don't believe it, I got to speak it until I believe it. Fake it till you make it. Look, how about that?
Yes,
Fake it till you make it.
I love that. I definitely believe in that as well. Speaking over your life and also declaring things, even when you do not see it in front of you. You have to believe, you have to have faith.
That's scripture. Speak things
Mm.
that are not as though they were.
Yes.
And that's where the affirmations come in. I have to speak this thing out of my mouth until I believe, until it becomes a norm. Like I have to put it in the airwaves, I have to put it in the atmosphere. And so I get like a lot of people pretty much say the same thing. I can, this is a book that I'll keep on my nightstand, or this is a book that I'll have with me. I'll have to refer back to this. So I like to say it's a tool. It's not
Yes.
a book, it's a tool.
I love that. I love that. Okay. So as far as marketing the book and where they can purchase, where are you marketing your book at right now?
Well, this book is available on just about all major platforms. My first book signing was at Books and Barnes and Nobles. So it is at, you can purchase it at Barnes and Noble online, Books a Million online, Amazon online, Walmart online. If you Google it, I've seen it's. I've sold one in Germany. so, so, but
Yeah.
it is, you can also purchase, if you want a signed copy from me personally, my website is www.poyg.org. www.poyg. That stands for Proud of You Girl. POYG, just in case. It helps people remember. poyg.org. And you can purchase directly from me. And if that's the case, then I sign them.
Okay. I love that. Okay. So do you have any upcoming projects coming up that you want to tell us
Um,
about?
I I actually have whoops, I'm speaking in Tuscaloosa, Alabama at a conference. It's a summit to empower and encourage individuals, from entrepreneurs, people in finance, people that are wanting to better, it's like financial literacy, health and wellness, fitness. I'll be there on the panel speaking. I also have another interview coming up soon here. We haven't finalized the dates, but it'll be a television interview.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm excited. That's about as
Yeah.
far as right now.
Hmm.
I'm looking at an apparel line with some of my quotes from the book. And so I'm exploring those.
Yes. We love to walk around with, the quotes. It makes you feel like, bold, confident, and
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
just shapes your day, right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
yeah, dig more into that for
yes,
us.
I will.
Well, how can we now what other platforms can we see you on?
So my IG is the THEE Nicole underscore. That's my IG, the A Nicole underscore. And then Facebook is just Ashley Nicole. Just how my name is spelled going across the thing here.
Okay. And then can you repeat your website one more time so they know where to go? And
www.poyg.org.
great, great, great. So I want
Cover of
to,
the
yeah,
book.
ooh, yeah, show that. Yes. Okay.
Strength. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. And this is
So
what I was
you all
gonna do.
see.
This is what I
Yes.
this is what I was gonna say before we
Hmm.
spoke about, sometimes, I had an interview, a live interview on Fox 6 News, and sent over my questions, and they answers and da 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 da. Soon as we go live, he goes, the news anchor goes all off the script, and I'm just like, okay. But guess what? You would not have known it. Why? Because I had it in my heart. Listen, your project has to be your passion. It has to be in your heart. It has to be you, your brand, and everything you stand for. So I was still able to spit off whatever it is he asked me for. So it's definitely something that you got to have, really, really on your heart, a passion to do. Mhm.
Yes. And you definitely exemplified that today. 'Cause you were ready. And when, like you said, when you have it in your heart, you're
Listen,
ready to go and you can
interview.
ask.
Yes.
So I want to thank you just for that, for
No.
showing up and letting us know about your incredible book
Yes,
that
ma'am.
tells your stories, affirmations, gives
Yes,
us a word as well. That is so much needed today.
yes, ma'am.
So I want to thank you, Ashley Nicole, for being a part of Author Spotlight. And I
Thank
want everyone, you're welcome. I want everyone out there to go and support Ashley Nicole. I'll have all of her contact information for you in the post. But go support her. This is a book that you can buy for others during this time of year. People need that motivation, that uplifting. They need a word from
you. Hmm.
God, right?
Hmm.
They need the affirmation. They need to hear that other people have been through what they may be currently going through or have gone through in the past and they're still stuck and they need help with getting out of that.
Yeah.
So this would be a great purchase this holiday season for someone that you love or someone that you just care about, a friend.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I want to thank all of you for viewing this tonight. And thank you again, Ashley Nicole, for being a part of this project.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. And again, until next time, bye.
Bye.